G'day, this is Simon here for the Bracketeer. I'm with John, who has a really cool, unique car of the week. What is it, mate?
1969 Corvette race car owned by the Greenwoods, Art Siri, Mancusos, ran IMSA, Sebring in 75, extensive history. Tons
of race history. Check this thing out. It's absolutely amazing. John, I think the best description, a friend of mine saw this car and he goes, what an Evel Knievel drive that car. That's what this thing looks like, right?
It does, and a lot of people do say that, but it is pretty close to the original livery that the Greenwoods ran for all their IMSA cars back in the 70s.
So this is a great looking car with proper track history. This is not a recreation. What's under the hood?
This has a 454. So it's ran 4 different classes, GT, B production, GT back in Europe, and then A production now. So most of the time it had a small block in it, now it has a big block.
So this car, obviously, it's seen a lot of track time in the past. What about now? Do you ever track it now, or is it?
Every medal in there right now is what I've won in the last year.
So
this is done Laguna Seca.
I thought you were going to say that, so I had to ask that question.
It is the feature car for next weekend for the Big War Bash.
That is so cool.
Springs with VARA, which is Vintage Auto Racing Association.
Yep.
And then it's been a kick.
I love that you still track this car, and it's not, you know, when we look at the car and we look at the inside, it's not still exactly as it would be to be in some heritage class or anything, because there's newer gauges in there, there's quick release steering wheel stuff that probably wouldn't have had back in the day.
Really, the only thing that I have wrong on this car is the gauges. So for Monterey Historics, I would have to put the Stuart Warners in.
Yeah, right.
But everything else on this car is period correct. I run historic with SVRA.
Excellent.
Trying to get into velocity and HMSA. So it meets all the criteria.
And how long have you owned the car?
Just 2 years.
2 years, and you've been on the track with it ever since, which is obviously really, really cool.
Yes.
What made you buy the car? Had you seen it race somewhere, or you just sort of turned up on?
It was for sale 4 years ago. I was sucked into vintage racing by some friends.
Right.
That had multiple cars. I wanted to buy it. They told me that it was too much car for me. I needed to get my feet wet first. I bought a 63 B production C2 Corvette.
Yep.
Did good enough in that. This popped up for sale again. I got a great deal on it. And so now it took me a year to not be terrified of this car.
Yeah,
to be able to drive it to its potential.
Well, the thing about big block Corvettes of this era, even the street cars were a handful. Everyone used to say that the small blocks, A, they didn't overheat, which was a big thing, but secondly, they didn't have as much weight over the front wheels, which actually made them handle better, which is probably one of the reasons, and for the classes, of course, it's had to spend a lot of its time as a small block. But for sheer brute force and fun and grunt, you cannot beat a Corvette with a big block in it.
When you come out of the corner, you don't smash on the gas. You accelerate very easily, like you have an egg under your foot. Otherwise, you're going around.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, mate, as our very worthy Car of the Week winner, you get this Meguiar's complete kit featuring the Hot Shine foam, the quick interior detailer, the perfect clarity glass cleaner, the ultimate wash and wax, hybrid ceramic detailer, and also the microfiber. I don't think you want to over polish this thing, because I think you want to keep this thing looking classic, but man, for any of your cars, great kit and a great car to bring out. We really appreciate you, and I want to point out too, John reached out to us in advance because the car is really noisy and he didn't want to drive it in, so we brought him in early, pushed it off the trailer just to keep everybody, all the neighbours happy, obviously. So we appreciate you for doing that and reaching out to us in advance. And mate, congratulations on such a great car.
Thank you very much.